Priscilla Barielle. You either dislike her or you don't. She is one of those characters that is quite an enigma if I had to say one thing about her. But let's be honest here. You did not click on this video for me to explain her, well, personality. You clicked on this video for her much bigger. In today's video, I will be using a different formula than the one used in my Amelia video. This one can be deemed slightly more accurate as it does have a study behind it. However, as always, please keep in mind that these calculations we will do should not be taken as scientific fact, as there is no complete 100% way to get accurate data, as there is no 100% way to calculate breast milk production. We can only get close, and even then, some things may be exaggerated, some things might actually be higher, some things might actually be lower. There's currently no way for us to know 100% unless a different study comes out relatively soon. Now, besides that, please enjoy the video.
First of all, we will once again be visiting our friends and scientists over at the r/ZenlessZone0 subreddit. Shocker, I know. Now, using this study found in this post I have listed on screen and some information that I was able to find, I have found out that according to the study, we can accurately determine lactation production. The study reads that lactating breasts on average store 63% of glandular tissue, and that for 100% accuracy, we must calculate the actual breast weight using cup size measurements, and then taking 63% of that total mass of one breast. Priscilla is officially described as having the largest in-canon breast size in the ReZero universe. With some quick research, thankfully, it turns out a brave gentleman on Reddit by the name of Brightest Wish has already calculated how much her breasts weigh by using the hand fan that she carries and her heels to estimate size. In their post, they go on to explain how they found her breast weight. First, a rough geometric model can be derived from the anime design. By applying the ellipsoid volume formula and multiplying it by the estimated breast density, the mass can be calculated. For the width, the fan was approximated as 30 centimeters. Since fans are commonly used to cover the face and are typically around this size, this led to an estimated inner breast width of 34 centimeters. Wait, what the hell? Dividing this by 4 gives us a value of 8.5. The height was estimated to be 20 centimeters, which becomes 10 centimeters when divided by 2. For the depth, body height was used as a reference. Priscilla's height is normally 1.64 meters. Subtracting 4 centimeters for the heels gives us a knee height of approximately 42 centimeters. The remaining 118 centimeters below the knee was divided into 10 centimeter segments, and using these segments with the hypotenuse equation, the depth was calculated to be approximately 7. They go on to use the ellipsoid formula to calculate the mass of a single breast, roughly 2.24 kilograms for one breast, meaning for both breasts, they weigh a total of 4.488 kilograms, which can be converted to 9.8 pounds. The study indicates that for every gram of lactation gland tissue, it can produce about 2 milliliters of milk. Now, since we have Priscilla's total breast weight already, we can simply calculate 63% of 2.24 kilograms, which gives us 1.344 kilograms of active lactation gland tissue. Multiply by 2 to get it for both breasts, and we end up with 2.77 kilograms of lactation gland tissue. Now, we have to convert this number into grams. We can simply do this by multiplying by 1,000 to get 2,770 grams of total tissue in both breasts. Finally, we can now find out her total daily production rate. Since 2 milliliters of milk is produced by a gram of lactation gland tissue, all we have to do now is multiply 2 by 2,770. By doing so, we get a massive number of 5,540 milliliters, which converted to liters is roughly, my lord, 5.54 liters, nearly 1.5 gallons of breast milk daily. For reference, here's a gallon of milk I'm sure you are familiar with. Now imagine this plus another half gallon of breast milk daily. This isn't even accounting for what stage of post-pregnancy she is in. This number could very well reach much higher due to lactation glands increasing after a few weeks to a few months postpartum. For comparison, wild cow mothers, not ones that are bred for specific milk production, that are raising a single calf can produce anywhere from 1 to 2 gallons daily depending on the breed or lactation production stage. This literally means that in later stages of breastfeeding for Priscilla, which with some research seems to increase about 15 to 60% after 1 to 6 months of feeding, she can produce nearly 7,700 milliliters of milk, which converted is 2.1 gallons daily. She can literally outproduce a wild cow. I understand that some people may actually prefer the old equation I used for Amelia, so I will be very quickly going over that formula as well. Since Priscilla's height is 164 centimeters, she falls into the 0.98 multiplier. For age, I actually cannot find anything on her true age. However, consensus in the community seems to be around 19 to 20. Her breasts are the largest in the ReZero canon verse, so I will be bumping up the original multiplier of 1.05 to 1.10. Considering she eats a lot of appas, I will be assuming her health is moderately good, which gives her a 1.1 multiplier. For average milliliters, instead of the original value I used for Amelia of 740, I will be using the full value considering the sheer size of her bust. Therefore, we end up with 900 times 0.98 times 1 times 1.1 times 1.05 times 1. When all put together, we get 1,018.71 milliliters,
which is roughly 0.2 US gallons, which I know will be disappointing to some.